Yeah, Sadiq Bey, man. Like, I knew he was good. I just didn't know he was that good. I'm like, 10 3-pointers made, 51 points. And I think the first half of the game against Magic last night.
Well, it's against the Magic.
Exactly, but that's still
against the Magic.
That's still impressive, though. I mean, for a guy you typically would not expect to do that, and especially on a team like Detroit. I mean, it was impressive. I was just mad because I had to go against them in fantasy.
Well, a team like Detroit, you got to think it's like all of them cats is gonna show out because it's like the team sucks. So it's just like you gotta do something to stand out.
Well, let me ask you, what do you think about Kyrie? Just that whole situation with like some games he can play, some games he can't.
I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, I look at it like this. It's his choice if he doesn't want to get vaccinated.
Of course.
That's cool. But when you're getting paid $40 million a fucking year, take the shot, bro. $40 million? It's like, come on, bro. Like, I understand it's your choice. You don't want to do it. I get that because I didn't do it either. So I'm pro that. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But when you getting paid $40 million a year, I'd take it for $40 million.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Honestly, like me, I did get it. I wasn't fully for it or against it. I was just kind of just waiting.
Oh yeah, I'm not
against it. Had a number of things, but like if I was in his predicament, I would probably just take it. But that's because it's like I'm kind of altering.
He's obligated to play those games.
Well, not even just that. I feel like I'm kind of being a burden just to my team, which it's like, to a degree, I can't blame Harden for being mad. I can't be mad at him for being mad about that whole situation, but at the same time, I still feel like Harden should have handled himself better.
Yeah, Harden should have handled himself better for sure,
yeah.
But I can understand why he was frustrated.
Exactly.
He came to Brooklyn because he wanted to win.
Exactly.
And the team ain't winning.
Exactly.
And it's just like KD's out, he's hurt.
Well, KD's back now.
Well, yeah, I'm saying when he was.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. He was the only one that was playing because KD was out, he was hurt. Kyrie is on the little, I'm not taking the shot, so I'm not playing. And the rest of the team wasn't really stepping up, and Harden wasn't playing that well either. So it was just like a shit show. And I could understand why he would be mad because you got a star player who's perfectly healthy that isn't playing because he just doesn't want to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why he would be upset, but at the same time, it's just like, be professional about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and even I said like when they all three of them first teamed up, like I had told everybody I didn't think it was gonna work. Like I didn't think they were gonna get the title at least, and I was right, but I mean, obviously I didn't want to be right for the reason why it happened. I didn't want to see any of them go down.
See, me personally, if they would have all been playing and Kyrie wasn't on that, I'm not, I'm going to boycott basically and not play. If the three of them played together, I think that they would have.
Yeah, I think this year they would do it.
No, they would have did it last year.
Well, I mean, I'm more so speaking in terms of like, I felt like everybody would be a little bit like, more like, okay, this is what we doing. We know how to play with each other.
Think about this. Last year in the playoffs,
mm-hmm.
Harden was injured, but he was still out there.
Right.
Kyrie was good for the first couple games.
Yeah, then
until he got hurt.
Yeah.
Now, when they were all playing before Kyrie went down, they were kicking the Bucks' ass. So it's just like if they would have stayed, if Kyrie wouldn't have went down, and James Harden would have been healthy, or he could have just been, get some time to get healthy before the finals. Yeah. They would have had a shot to win last year.
Yeah.
If they would have, if Kyrie wouldn't have went down, they would have had a shot to win it last year.
I feel it. So, do you think if it was them instead of the Bucks against Phoenix, they would have won 100%?
Against Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because who they got on Phoenix is going to guard KD.
I agree. Nobody.
Chris Paul ain't going to guard Kyrie.
Exactly.
Who going to guard James Harden?
Exactly.
So, I mean, they would have probably got punished in the paint
Yeah.
Because they didn't have no big man. They was
Exactly.
hang with
Too,
DeAndre.
you can't stop
But
KD. Like,
yeah,
it's just
KD,
impossible.
you
You can try to contain him, but even
Yeah.
that's tough to do.
Right. And so it's just like, if they would have played Phoenix, I mean, would Phoenix have gotten swept? No. They would have won some games.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they would have beat them.
So, how are you feeling about their chance this year?
Well, I mean, same gauntlet. Jamal Murray is out. They played Nuggets last year with no Jamal Murray, and they won. The Lakers didn't have AD, still ain't got AD. But they ain't even going to make the playoffs, so they ain't got to worry about LeBron.
Let's not say that just yet. That play-in tournament still, they're still in contention.
Yeah.
And that's
true.
And like we spoke about before, me being a Clipper fan and we're like in that 8th seed, I hate it, but then I like it at the same time.
The better team will get the seed.
Exactly.
You know?
But I mean, even...
But it's only one game.
Exactly.
It's only one game.
But even like with the Clippers' chances, like I had literally told everybody, I said the best we could do is 8th seed or at least play in tournament.
Yeah, without PG and K.
Exactly, and
Kawhi,
PG, they still haven't said whether he's coming back or we're sitting him down. Like
Well,
it's still like hovering still. So
they said that he was shooting.
yeah,
So they said
and
that
even
it's possible.
Kawhi's shooting too.
Oh yeah, Kawhi is in practice now,
Yeah,
so it's like
but-
there's a possibility they could. If
but at
they
the
do
same
make
time-
the playoffs, I think that they might come back.
Well, I don't know because I'm kind of on the fence. Like I don't want Kawhi to come back this season, but that's more so like I'm thinking of it as a just trying to be a good person. Like I don't want you to take the risk, bro. I'd much rather you be able to block. Like
I mean, hey, look, if he thinks that he's healthy enough
Exactly.
to come back, and he feels that he can play,
exactly,
then come back.
yeah. But
Same
I
with
mean,
PG. If he
don't-
feels like he can,
I don't
play,
want us to try and force him. I'm trying to avoid a Spurs situation. Mainly. Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. But
I mean,
also,
yeah.
I'm thinking about it from the perspective of like, I get you have a career-ending knee injury. Don't risk it, bro. Like, don't risk it.
What is a career ending?
Yeah, he's got a career-ending knee injury. That's why he load manages so much. A lot of people don't know that either.
He just had a partial tear.
No, like in not in that knee, in one of his other knees.
Oh, you talking about the tendinosis or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's like, and me having my fair share of knee injuries, I know how it is. So I'm like, bro, don't do it. Like, if you feel like you can't do it, don't do it.
I leave it up to him.
Yeah.
If he feels,
Oh,
if
yeah,
he
overall,
feels
it's
he
on
can
that.
play, then I mean,
Now, Paul George's case, and I've been saying too, like, ever since last year's playoff run, like, people got to start putting more respect on his name because he stepped up when he truly had to. Like,
oh no,
it was just too late. Like,
last year, I think he earned playoff P last
Mhm.
year. He earned it back
mm-hmm.
because for the last few years, I'm just like, nah, playoff P is stuck in Indiana.
Exactly.
He ain't never leave Indiana. But
Well, actually, you could even say playoff P was in OKC because technically that was his best season.
not in the playoffs.
That is true.
He
true.
shit the bed in the
That
playoffs.
is true. I'm getting a regular season playoffs
Regular
with P.
season
Yeah.
PG.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, he was what was it? He was MVPG that year.
Yep.
Yeah, he was an MVP candidate that year for sure. Like he was hooping. But when it came to the postseason, he laid an egg in that one. I was like, damn, bro. I was mad. I was like, come on, man. I was like, you just let like he got cooked by Donovan Mitchell the first year, and then he got cooked by Dame. And
don't even speak about that shot.
Like, come on, dog. Like
it sucks too because I love Dame, but it's like out of all people, you just had to hit the shot on the dude that's on my team now.
I mean, PG, but I give PG his props though. I mean, he defended the shot as good as you can. You know, it's just like he didn't want to foul him.
Exactly. Well, I mean, 100%. That's a terrible shot, but it's Dame. Exactly. It's Dame we're talking about. So
Dame can hit those.
Exactly.
Like for Dame and Steph Curry, that is not a bad shot.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, when people were hating on him, saying that's a bad shot, I'm like, technically he's not wrong, but look at who it is. Like,
yeah, it would be a bad shot for most of them.
Exactly.
But not Dame.
Yeah. So
not Dame.
Who you got taking finals this year?
Finals? honestly, I think, bearing anything crazy, the Suns will make it back.
Yes.
The Suns will make it back. From the East, it's kind of tough. Because you got Milwaukee that's got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
You got Philly. And I think if Brooklyn makes the playoffs, I think they have a shot to make it to the finals.
I'm not even going to lie either. The Bulls are still like my dark horse.
The Bulls are my squad. But I don't think they have enough to make it to the finals.
You think so?
Like, I think if they were to play, say that mandate gets lifted like they're talking about in New York and Kyrie is able to play, they're not going to beat the Nets in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
I would think they'd have a hard time with either Philly or Milwaukee.
Yeah.
In a 7-game series. But I mean that's my team. But I mean I'm just being realistic.
Exactly.
Like I'm like I don't think they can
I
make
respect
the finals. But if they do make it, I mean they have a shot. I give them that. It's between Brooklyn if they make the playoffs. If Kyrie comes back, I would say Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, and Chicago. Like those teams, any one of those four would have a chance.
Yeah.
But I would say that if the situation stays the way that it is, I would say it would probably be between Philly and Milwaukee.
I feel that.
Yeah.
West-wise, I do believe at this point it's pretty much the Suns to lose.
I mean, Chris Paul and his injury history is what could really mess it up for them.
Who are you talking to? I'm a Clipper fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think I be telling Suns fans, like, guys, I've dealt with it so much, I almost can already tell you what's about to happen.
He already hurt now.
Exactly.
I'm just like, come on. We ain't even in the playoffs yet.
I do want to say it's between them. I want to still keep the Warriors in there, but now that Curry's down, that's going to make things harder.
Yeah, I was going to say that if it wasn't the Suns, I would say it. For sure. But that Curry going down.
It kind of depends with Utah, but honestly, I think Utah needs to blow that team up.
No, Utah is done.
Yeah.
Utah is like, they're like that middle of the road.
Exactly.
Team.
They're kind of the gatekeepers in the West. I like to put it. Kind of.
Yeah, they kind of are. It's like they're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not good enough to make it to the finals.
Memphis, though, that's low-key my dark horse in the West.
Yeah, Memphis is looking good this year. Ja Morant hooping.
Yeah. And then, and this is a big hypothetical. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the 8th seed. Who knows? We could possibly get 7th seed. So, if we match up with Suns and at least PG is back, I believe we can at least take it 6 games. I think we're capable.
Yeah, I'd give y'all that, especially if Chris Paul ain't playing.
Exactly. Now, with PG and Kawhi come back,
the PG and Kawhi was playing against Phoenix,
we sweeping them niggas, dog.
I don't know about that.
Nah, we sweeping them.
I don't know
about PG and Kawhi come back, and we match up against the Suns, we sweeping them.
What, without Chris Paul?
No, without Chris Paul, we sweeping them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. With Chris Paul, though, nah.
All right.
Y'all ain't sweeping.
All right, look, with Chris Paul, at least like 7 games.
Oh, it'll be a series for sure. Yeah.
But without,
that's a done deal.
I'm sorry, but PG book ain't enough, dog.
I mean, because the Suns struggled without Chris.
Exactly.
They've been struggling without him since he went down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, they don't have another floor general that can like actually get them where they in the spots they need to be in. You know, they say Devin Booker is taking that role, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I see Devin trying.
He's trying, but
he did kind of, have that responsibility for a minute before they got Chris Paul. Like, he was kind of being the facilitator. But that's not Devin Booker's job. Like,
Exactly.
Devin Booker is a scorer.
Exactly.
You can't depend. I don't think he has enough in him to facilitate and take over the scoring load if need be. Because, I mean, if you look at the scoring load, he's the one who scores the most. Like, he's the go-to guy. So if he's too busy facilitating, who's going to be the go-to guy to step up scoring?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not he can't do both.
Oh, overall, should be a good.
He ain't
playoff.
Allen Iverson.
Oh, come on! There's never been another AI.
Like, AI had to do both.
Exactly.
And, because they come on to him and he double and triple teams and he had to be able to facilitate.
Okay.
But he was still able to drop 40, 50.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Devin Booker, he had that one game where what did he drop? Was it 70?
Oh, yeah, and lost by 10.
Right. The AI, he led the league in scoring, 4 times? It's just like being that small. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
Hey,
he
still, will be a good playoff, so.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about them Millionaires?
I mean, it's cool, I guess. He's different.
I mean, I'll tell you what.
I got a pair of shadows over there, and I mean, it's the same thing. It just has the writing on it.
I'll tell you what, man. I posted on my story the other night, like, man, these just ain't it. And Blanc almost lost it on me.
I mean, they would be cool to have, but it's like if I don't get them, I'm not gonna be
exactly. Like, I'm just like, I just don't care. Like, they're not that cool to me. I do like Manor's rollout for them that they're doing though. Like, I definitely respect it.
A rollout.
Yeah, for the drop that they're doing at Manor.
What they gonna do?
They just been like hyping them up pretty well, so I do like that. Like videos and all that on IG.
Oh, they already got them in.
I believe the drop is like in the next couple days, if I'm not mistaken. The 19th, I want to say.
Yeah, that's
tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. No, but they've been doing a pretty good job with the rollout.
What are they doing, like raffle, or are they doing like first come?
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. I didn't care about the shoes. I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, hey, if I could sneak in there and grab some, I mean, I would do it.
Yeah, I'll have to look. No, but it's like, I'm kind of getting to a point now, and I was just having this conversation with my mom, because I was telling her I was just sold my Union 4s. And, typically just how we are as sneakerheads, like, you're always trying to collect. But I told her, I feel like it's kind of me maturing in a sense, because, like, they were just sitting there. So it's like, I'm just kind of getting tired of looking at them, so I'd much rather send them to somebody that's going to wear them. Which, man, the homie Travis in the size 10 group on Twitter I was telling you about, yeah, he ended up picking them up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, yeah.
I mean, I guess I can't really say nothing about stuff sitting. But, I mean, like, I try to wear it, like, how I do with my stuff is, like, I cycle through.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
Well, I mean, I told you, man, I like your collection. Like, obviously you have the hype stuff, but you have a good mix of, like, stuff that you like, / stuff that you would rarely ever see.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hey, like, take the undefeated KDs, I like to call them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like...
The road greens.
Like, hey, I've never seen those till I met you, so that's kind of cool to see them.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
It was just like, I got a lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't normally see. But, I mean, that's kind of where the culture, that's what the culture is about, though, you know? It's like, it's all about having, that diverse mentality where it's just like
also
you got some people with different stuff.
I wouldn't even say just that either, though. It's like, obviously we speak on it all the time. It's about building the relationships, but also it's about having a story behind every shoe that you have almost. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah,
like a lot of people don't have that anymore, and I feel that's what's been missing.
Well, it's like we had that conversation before. It's right now in today's era. It's the culture versus the business.
Yeah.
And it's just like right now, everybody is about the business. Everybody just wants to get stuff to resell it to make money. It's like,
exactly.
You know, in my era, it was all about the culture. It was all about what does this really mean? Mm-hmm. Do you really want it? Why do you want it? The story behind you getting the shoe, like the first time you saw it was like, damn, I really want those. And then what you had to go through to get it, which back then it really wasn't anything crazy, but you know that feeling of you going in the store and getting the shoe that you want and then you having it. Or when I was a young kid, you know, you walk out the store with the shoe on your feet, and people don't do that anymore. So it's like it's just a whole different thing. Like, I could probably tell you a story about everything that I got.
Oh yeah.
There's probably a story behind it.
Same.
About why I got it or how I got it or you know, any of that.
Well, I mean, it's just like over time, things change with people. But of course, it's like when I first met you and we really got to like know each other. That's why I told you like the whole reason why I was starting the Sneaker Talk project. Like, just that's what I felt is missing. Is just like obviously having a story and all that, but also like just building your relationship with fellow sneakerheads. Mm-hmm. Like even now, like there's one I'm about to meet up with, like I was telling you about, was just on Sneak This, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to just chatting with him.
Yeah, he started following me on IG.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like right after his last episode, so I was just like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm really trying to do the thing now where, like, before I invite people onto the show, like, I'm really just trying to, like, meet with them, kind of just talk with them and see, like, you know, where their head's at and see if we kind of have the same mindset on what I'm trying to do. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's just, like, there's a lot of things I want to do this year. And, yeah, it's definitely going a lot better than I really thought it would, honestly. But yeah, still plenty more work to do.
No, of course, there's always room to improve.
Yeah. Now, here's what I was really like just sitting there thinking about the other day. Like, when did your basic white girl like take over the Air Force One? Like, I am so confused.
If you really want me to keep it a buck, it's always been that way. When I was in high school, basic white girls were wearing white on whites. Everybody was wearing white on whites. You know what I'm saying? You had your basic white girl in line at Starbucks. You had your hood nigga on the corner selling crack.
Fair enough.
He wearing white on whites.
Fair enough.
Everybody was wearing white on whites.
The Coke whites, right?
But yeah, Coke whites. There you go. But I mean, you gotta think, the era that I grew up in, the Air Force One song was prevalent.
Oh yeah.
So when that song came out, I was in, I think, 10th grade, and that song, it blew up Air Force Ones, period. Everybody was wearing Air Force Ones. Instead of people buying different color shoes to go with their outfits and things, like I do, and still do, just like a habit, they would buy all white or all black Air Forces and change the color of the shoelaces to match the outfit. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I was like, is that what we're doing now? Like, we just gonna change the shoelaces? It's like, just buy some Air Force Ones that's got that color. Like, I wear a lot of red, so it would make sense for me to buy a pair of black and red or red and white Air Forces or something with red on it. These cats would just put red shoelaces in their all whites or red shoelaces in their all blacks. And if they wear a blue outfit, they put blue laces in it. And I'm just like, you're joking. I used to laugh at that. I thought it was hilarious. I'm just like, come on, man. That's just being cheap. It's like, I mean, we didn't all grow up with silver spoons, but if you know you wear a lot of colors, like certain colors,
Yeah.
buy shoes that match what you wear. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. But I mean, if you listen to most people, they'll tell you that a pair of all white Air Forces will go with it.
Yeah, that is true.
Do I think so? No.
Yeah,
But
I agree. But I mean, it's a subjective opinion.
It's like an East Coast thing, man.
So here's a good one for you. One thing you would like to change to make sneaker culture better.
That is cool. What I would like to change is for people to stop like mixing up the culture versus the business.
Okay.
If you're a reseller, you are not part of the culture. You are in the business of selling sneakers. You are not part of the culture.
Now, let me ask you this. What makes you a reseller? Because we know a few that are just as much sneakerheads as we are.
The resellers are the people that don't have this.
Okay.
They basically buy shoes just to sell them. They don't actually have shoes for themselves, or they don't wear sneakers because they like sneakers. They buy up a whole bunch of sneakers just to sell them off. That is a reseller to me.
Okay.
Now, if you have a collection and you resell, that's kind of a gray area. Like, say if you are a person that has a big collection, but the only stuff that you sell is like stuff out of your personal collection. Like you got some stuff you don't want anymore, you don't wear anymore, and you decide you want to sell it, kind of like what you do. That I wouldn't consider a reseller because you're not going out buying, say Foot Locker has a drop. Okay, prime example. Those playoff 12s that dropped last week. Cats go in there and they buy about 6, 7, 8 pairs. Are they keeping any of them for themselves? No. They're trying to sell all of them at a profit.
Exactly.
Like, at least if you're a sneakerhead, you're gonna keep one for yourself because you wanted it. Now, if you had the opportunity to get all of those and resell, and that's what you do, okay, but you kept one.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of a gray area, but it's just like for me, a reseller is just a person that is. They don't really care about the culture at all. They don't care about sneakers.
Oh.
They don't wear sneakers. They just buy sneakers just to resell them. That, to me, is a reseller.
Yeah. I would honestly say the one thing I would like to change, and heck, why I started this, like, I feel like we need to get to a point where we stop allowing, I guess I would say, outsiders to sort of come into the culture and claim that they're involved with it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Because it's like
with the resellers.
Yeah,
they're
well,
culture vultures.
Think about it like this: like, take like, you get these TikTokers now, like, all of a sudden, like, they're talking about, oh yeah, I've always been into shoes, which some of them may have, but it's like, bro, like, you're only doing this because it's trendy. Like, bro, I paid my dues.
Speaking of that,
what's up?
Now you know who you are. I'm not gonna say your name, but you know who you are. I had this dude that I knew back in the day. He didn't know jack shit about sneakers. Nothing. Then a couple of years later, he's got all of these shoes talking about, I've been in this game for years, man. I've been doing this. And I'm like, bro, I knew you like 5 years ago when you didn't have nothing. But now all of a sudden you're a sneakerhead? And I'm like, look at your sneaker collection, bro. All of your stuff in your collection came out this year. But you a sneakerhead, though. You've been in this game for years, but you got everything you got is this year. It's like, man, get out of here with that, man. Like it. And he was out of the culture, basically got rid of all of his shoes just as quick as he got in. He was out. And I'm like, bro, no. Like that type of, like, those type of people that get into shoes because it's the cool thing to do. They culture vultures. They not about the culture. They don't care about this.
Exactly. I'm like,
they just do it because everyone else is doing it.
I mean, it's like, bro, it's just crazy. Because take Arizona for example. Like, yes, we have our sneaker influencers out here,
Sure.
and it's the homie Ivan. He said it best. Like, he told me like, Mac, I think you kind of are getting to the point you are an influencer at this point, and part of me was mad that he said that. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because I don't want to be known as an influencer, man. I just want to be known as a cool dude that is just involved in sneakers.
I won't say that you're an influencer because you are actually a part of the culture. Influencer is somebody that's more like a culture vulture. They're not really they influence people. Like, say they got a big, like, say like one of these like TikTok cats or something has like a big following.
Yeah.
He don't really give a shit about shoes, but he's pushing it because it's cool.
Yeah.
That to me is an influencer.
Okay.
Like, it's just like, yeah, you might be, bigging it up and trying to like make it look, but it's just like you ain't about this though. You ain't about this. It's just like you just doing it because it's cool. Like all of these girls on TikTok wearing was it Jordan 1s, and everybody's like, oh yeah. And it's just like, yeah, those are influencers. They don't care about shoes. They just wear Jordan 1s because everyone else is doing it. It's not because they like them, because everyone else is doing it. And I mean and that's another thing that I wish that the sneaker game would get back to is the individuality.
Oh, 100%.
It's just like everybody nowadays is cookie cutter as fuck. Everybody wants to wear Jordan 1s, Dunks. They don't wear anything else.
I know, right?
It's just like, that's it. They don't wear nothing else. Like, you don't see cats walking around in Reebok Questions or Foam Posits or Janowskis. You don't see none of that. Everything is Jordan 1s or not even SB Dunks, but regular ass Dunks. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, are you serious?
It's crazy, man. But, that's just sadly the time we're in, bro. Like, people don't know how to be different. Like, we're taught almost you have to be like everybody else to fit in. I'm like,
I was never taught that.
Well, I'm speaking more so on the kids these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because it's like me, like, I don't care about me, like, standing out. I don't care about going against the grain. Like, I've always done it. It's always what I'll continue to do.
Sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, best thing I can say is we got a lot of work to do. Just as people that are a part of the culture, people that have been in it for a good amount of time, we got a lot of work to do.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, to me, honestly, it's sad when you see, like, OGs give up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we was talking about the sneaker influences, like the homie Greg on Sneak This. Like, he's super ingrained in it. He's been doing this. He's an OG. He's been around longer than me. But we've probably been doing the sneaker thing probably about the same time. I think he's like a couple years older than me. So, but he's like, you can just tell by the way he talks about shoes sometimes that he's kind of given up on like what the culture is today. He remembers it the way I remember it.
Yeah.
And it's just like that culture is like, I feel like it's not really my responsibility, but something that I pride myself on in the culture is that I try to keep that spirit that brought me into it alive. It's just like I wear different things. I mean, you see what I got in here. You see what I wear when we chill. I'll something different. It's like I'm not wearing what everybody else is wearing. And that was what made sneakers cool. I mean, yeah, of course you had everybody wearing Jordans because it's Jordan. It's Michael Jordan. Everybody's going to want Jordans. But there was also that individuality on how you rocked it, what you wore with it, how you wore it. It was always something different. Nowadays, everybody is wearing everything the same way. Everything is the same. Like last year, what was the uniform of the year?
Black and white dunks.
Panda dunks and mom jeans. You saw it everywhere you went. They're all wearing it the same way. But we don't come from that. But, I mean, Greg voices his frustrations. And, I mean, I do too.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's crazy.
Hey, it is what it is.
Exactly. It's just like, there's nothing you can do to really change it. But what you can do is you can keep it alive. Keep your values alive. What made you fall in love with this? What made you have that passion? You can keep that and you can pass that on to people that are willing to take that, you know? So
yeah.
it's like because there are some young guys out there that they enjoy hearing like stories like of the OGs, like the stuff that we did and what we bought, how we did it. You know?
Oh yeah, like myself.
You know,
it's always fun talking with older sneakerheads, I'll put it, but it's just something's got to give, something's got to change. I think that's the best way I can put it at this point.
So you being a younger sneakerhead, what do you think about like the sneakers of the 90s?
So 90s sneaker culture.
Now, granted, in the 90s, I was a kid, but
yeah,
that was when I got started.
Yeah, well, kind of just hearing about it, like bits and pieces, like, I will say, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot. And, you know, it's a shame I never really got to experience it, because it's like I say, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm probably one of the newest sneakerheads that still kind of shares the same values, like OG sneakerheads.
For sure.
But it's like I always told you, like a big thing was paying my dues. And that's what I did. I learned, you know, I earned my respect in this game. I still continue to earn my respect in this game. And that's where I say I think is missing. Like a lot of people just expect to be like accepted in this game, and it's like, no, like I tell a lot of younger kids, like, nah, bro, like go learn how it used to be. Go learn how it used to be before they had StockX, Go, like any of that. Like you actually had to go to the store,
right? Or
you had to go to multiple stores.
Sure.
Yeah. Before reselling was really as big as it is now. Like, all right. Before like sneakers were trendy, and like you got called ghetto for wearing sneakers. Like, bro, it's just crazy. Like going from, you know, sneaker culture in its heyday to now, and you know, it's so much that like we could go on and on for days about it, but it's just so much, man.
I think personally too, another thing that annoys me is like young kids that get like, say, a retro of like an older sneaker, and then they rock it like, oh man, these are my grails. It's just like, your grails. Like, bro, that shoe just came out. I was like, what do you know about the originals? What do you know about like where it came from? You know,
I mean, that's another thing too. Like grails, I'm like, what is considered a grail nowadays? Because like
something hype.
But at the
Travis Scott's.
Oh yeah, but at the same time though, I'm like, I look at some girls, I'm like, really? Like, I guess, man. Honestly, I'm to the point I don't even really consider shoes grails, because it's like, if I like the shoe, I like the shoe. That's just how I look at it. If I like the shoe, I like the shoe.
How us like OGs would consider a grail. It was something that you always wanted, but you could never get your hands on.
Exactly.
That was a grail.
Yes.
To us. Now, as a kid, this here was a grail. These were grails. Because when this came out, this was a $200 shoe in 1997. I was like, what, 11 years old? My mom was not buying me a $200 sneaker.
Nope, you never thought you would have it.
No, it was impossible. Because I'm like, $200 for a shoe? But this is the 2007 release. This is the first time they ever retroed this shoe. And I had to get it because it was something that I always wanted and I could never get it as a kid. And in 2007, I was 21 years old. I had my own job, was making my own money, and I could afford it. So when these came out, it was a no-brainer. I had to have it. And I mean, for it to be, this old and it still looks this good. I mean, this is timeless. But these young kids, they don't understand. Like, they don't get it. It's just like that, to them, it's a foam posit. It's just like the relevance of it doesn't.
I've explained to you already how I feel about phones. Like, it's a DC shoe, so that's why I almost feel like I don't even have a right to wear one.
I mean, it's not so much.
Yeah, but it's a DC shoe.
Yeah,
like,
the DMV is the foam cap.
Yeah, but it's like, take Sakai Waffles. Like, this was probably like my favorite shoe other than a Janowski, and that's just because like it was like that one shoe I had to get. Like, I think this shoe was probably the first time I went over like $400 just to get a pair of shoes, and not even just this colorway, like the original like green and yellow one. This one was actually gifted to me from a friend, which, by the way, shout out to you, E. But like, this, I would say, might be a grail to some younger kids.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, this isn't a grail. Like, this is not a grail. I don't care what anybody says. Sakai Waffles aren't a grail right now because they're still relatively affordable and they're pretty easy to obtain.
It's new. It's new.
I mean, take that UNC 4 that I did a video on that's at Legend Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
That's a grail because that's a PE. There's only 23 of those.
Right.
That's a grail.
I got a couple of those too. Well,
yeah, but
one for sure.
It just depends who you ask.
PEs, to me, PEs can be grails, but PEs are like, that's like that unattainable shoe that it's just like there's only a handful of people that can actually afford to buy one of those.
Or like even find them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a grail for me, Well, we'll say this, in today's era, with Kobe passing, it's just like a lot of people would consider Kobe's as grails, certain Kobe's.
Yeah.
Because it's like, nowadays,
speaking of Kobe grails, you know which one I want the most?
What's that?
That pink and baby blue Kobe 4, I believe it is. That DeMar DeRozan had.
Yeah, the
bro.
Yeah.
I want that one so bad. Like, look, fam. Like,
talking about they're like white. They're like South Beach colors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the pink fades in with the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I want that one so bad.
Luka Doncic wore those too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was only DeMar DeRozan.
That colorway was, the one that was supposed to drop, it was white, and it had the pink that faded into like the teal bluish color, and it had a little bit of black on it. That shoe was actually supposed to come out because it was a lot of people, like Luka wore it, DeMar, and I was like, yo, if that comes out, that's a cop.
Fair.
It's a cop.
So, one piece of key advice for younger sneakerheads, with you being an OG in this game.
Advice is to like what?
Just advice that you probably would have wished somebody told you.
Well, I had a lot of guidance coming up, growing up, having those OGs. For me, what I would tell these new sneakerheads is simple. Be you. Be yourself. Like, don't wear shoes because you think that it's the cool thing to do. It's just like, if you really have a passion for it and you really love sneakers, wear what you want to wear. Be yourself. Be different. Don't try to be what everybody else is being, and don't I'm gonna buy these because everybody else has them. It's just like, it's not about that. It's just like, wear what you want to wear and make it your own. Do what you want to do. Don't Don't try to blend in. Try to stand out. That's what this whole culture is about. Try to stand out. Do something different.
Amen.